Hello ratbags, it's Jade. Welcome to another Assassin's Creed guide. Today I'm going to be taking you through how to kill the Zealot Redwater. We're in Venonis and this is pretty much west of Ravensthorpe and it's all the Roman ruins. You'll be here to get an ability and some other stuff. I've already done separate guides showing you where the ability is here, so make sure you go and check it out, as well as a decent weapon or shield I think it is. Anyhow, today we're killing Redwater. Now this guy's pretty tough. I've gone for a bit of a mixture between Raven and melee abilities here, but it's up to you, your method. I've really just gone for lots of health, anything that's going to give me lots of defense and just lots of extra sort of attack damage with maybe heavy. So why do you need to do this? Well, basically killing all the zealots eventually will open up the quest for Excalibur, and that's what you're going to have to do, but you're going to have to complete the story as well. So I figure I might as well show you as I'm doing it rather than wait for one big long video showing how to get them all. But yeah, Redwater is level 90, as you can see I'm level 55, so I'm well underpowered. I've got this on normal difficulty or default difficulty, and it took me maybe 3-4 attempts to do, and I'm not very particularly good at combat, so I think as long as you follow some of the steps and tips I give you, you should be able to get in no problem. Anyhow, he runs along these road lines all over Leicestershire. Remember, it's the main roads that they go down. Just a little FYI that when you do the story, you should come across the quest with Lethbridge. If you spare Lethbridge, pretty much he will make it that these guys don't hunt you down. If you kill Lethbridge, they will come and find you, so throughout the game you'll end up having a bit of a battle with them. So you may want to wait until do that if you're not that bothered about getting Excalibur pretty early, but otherwise, yeah, if you want to avoid them hunting you, make sure you spare his life. Anyway, I'm gone with my little dagger that I got in Norway, and then I've got an axe in the right hand side. It's all Raven gear, so it's all going to give me a good little bonus here of extra armor when my health is pretty low. I did try a couple of versions, attempts with the berserker gear. I thought I could go meleeing him toe to toe, but you do just need a little bit more movement speed so that you can dodge him. Also, wearing all the Raven clan stuff gives you an additional increase to critical hits, and I thought that was pretty important too. Now I tried various different things. I tried ambushing him from the hay bale, I've tried trying assassinating him, but it just doesn't work. You have to actually properly fight him. Soften him up with arrows, try and get him off his horse as well. I find horses get in the way massively, so make sure they're not anywhere near you, your one particularly. And don't be too close to this mausoleum here, because there are enemies inside if you haven't cleared them out, and I think they respawn. They're always just getting in the way, like you don't want them around you. But you can see I'm doing a fair amount of sort of distraction damage here and taking a fair amount of health when I do hit his weak points. Eventually he's going to start throwing some javelins at you, so you may want to just jump down or see if you can use up all your arrows anyway to soften him up a little bit, but there you go. They're pretty easy to dodge from up here as well. You only got to take like a little side sweep. He's got this ability though to throw traps that explode, a little bit like your incendiary ability that you've got with your arrows. They will stay there a long ass time, so you can normally throw at least 2, maybe even 3 sometimes. You can see the red circle on the floor and you can see I've got enemies shooting at me, so I'm going to just lure him away because I know they're shooting at me. In a second I'm going to just see if I can get away from him a little bit and try and get him to come for me. But that's the order of the day, is dodging him and then going in with a light and then a heavy attack. Normally you should be able to get 3 attack swings out of it, whether or not it's all light or light and 2 heavy. If you try doing 3 heavies, I noticed that didn't work so well. You can see I realised, yeah, I just want him away from there. So he's pretty tough. He is definitely a hard one. Like I said, I tried going toe to toe with melee and a big shield and a big sword, and that didn't really work. So just using that ability to get around him, that is crucial. You'll also notice that time is slowing down slightly whenever I do a dodge, and this is probably the best skill you can have for fighting these guys. You just really need it. Make sure you equip it. It's in the Raven tier, so keep unlocking some of the Raven stuff and eventually you'll get to it. I think it's called evasion, but it just slows down time just briefly if you parry, if you dodge just the right time. I've actually used this to much better effect on the second Zealot, but for this one I was kind of just learning how to defeat him. Remember, he's level 90, I'm only level 55, and like I said, I've got it on the base settings, so it's still quite a challenging fight. It's the red damage obviously that does the most, but when he does, he's so slow, you can definitely pull off a good few attacks on him. I wasn't even using my specials, I should have been using them much more. Valkyrie dive is one that I've been using a lot. Thinking about it, the incendiary trap might be just as good as well, with the arrows laying it so that he walks onto it as well. Also, if you can get right round the back of him and you've got some backstab skills, that would be really interesting to use too. You can see how much damage I'm doing that way. And when you hit him, he really takes a knock in and he goes back and gets staggered back as well. Also, just to show you what it was like when I was trying to go with my melee heavy character, which was obviously a shield and a big axe. It was good, but I just couldn't get enough speed in. I was doing the dodging, I was starting to realise I could dodge him out of the way, but these traps here are pretty deadly and they catch fire to you. They don't last forever though, so once you have pretty much set them off, they won't be there. Unlike the smoke that you find in one of the next ones, one of the guides I've already done, that kind of lingers and that kills you even more. So yeah, I nearly had success with this. I got him down to about half health, but he was just owning me. I just couldn't do it, and this was probably the third or fourth time. I am not very good at blocking, but I guess it's the same principle, just parrying at exactly the right time. But I found dodging was just a little bit better, because it meant that if he was using his red attack, which he mixes up sometimes, you're going to get out of the way of that. And if he mixes up just the normal attack, like the regular parry one that you can normally parry, well, it's still okay just to dodge that, and that gives you more opportunity to slow down time and get off some actual proper hits. Fair play to you if you're not even using that and you're still managing to dodge him and get lots of hits in. I definitely needed it. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually update the game. I'm finding that this may even be a bit cheesy. It's still a challenge. Like I said, this was like my fourth attempt at taking him on, and overall it took about half an hour to finally do it. But you can see I'm just rolling around now and getting them hits in. And like I said, arrows to the head, always good as well if you've got any spare ones left. Otherwise, yeah, you just want to keep dodging. And eventually you will get to the point where he is going to be brown bread. Defeat 11 of these guys, and then that's going to start unlocking the more stuff you need to go and get some new gear. Particularly it's the Excalibur storyline I think that you need to do eventually. And there you go, just like almost perfect dodge. Got him slow again, and he's nearly done. One more and he's going to be gone. He's got a pretty big shield there. Obviously they're all kind of very similar with the shields and stuff. It's usually just their abilities. So he's not doing it in this round, but he was throwing them sentry traps a hell of a lot in the previous 3 battles that I had with him. And a lot of the time they were causing me massive damage when I was rolling into them and being set alight on them. There you go, he's chucking one now. You can see, you just got to get out of the way of it. I was kind of hoping that he walking over it would maybe trigger it and you could catch him out that way. I thought that would be an interesting tactic to use against him. But I finished him off with a special, and that was pretty epic.
I once served and prayed under St. Chad at Tamworth. I was a monk. I should have stayed there.
Did St. Chad die with his axe in his hand?
St. Chad will be revered for avoiding the axe. I wish I had done so myself and not taken a path full of violent honor. The old gods will fade from our sight in time. God forgive me, for I have sinned.
Don't forget to take your medallions back to Hyam. If you haven't already built the Assassin's Bureau, you should have done it by now on your settlement and give him, and he can give you some rewards. And there we go, guys. That is another guide to the Zealots done and dusted. I'm going to take you through every single one of these, showing you the best ways and tips to do it. Hopefully it won't all revolve around me dodging. I'll get to the point where I can try some new methods out. If you know any, let me know in the comment section down below, and go and check out my other guide I've already done. Until next time.